saying this a lot recently. Do you want something fresh when it comes to fashion? If you're into bags and you feel like you've got everything, or if you feel like you've got what you want but there's nothing out there that's really caught your eye in a while, are you wondering what is new that is coming out? Well, I've done the work for you so you don't have to. And I've picked a few key brands here that are quite popular brands, and I'm going to show you bags that are coming out that a lot of these aren't out just yet, but it will give you an idea for the vibe for 2023, spring summer. Now, what I love about spring summer 23 is there's a lot of pastel colours being used, which that's my favourite. I really like pastel tones. There's a lot of that, there's a lot of pinks, there's a lot of peaches, a lot of mint, like pistachio greens, really nice colours. And I love the way they all clash with each other slightly, the way you can get a pastel colour palette to clash in a really gentle, really beautiful way. I'm going to start with Fendi and some of their new bags that have been seen on the runway. And with a lot of their stuff, there's a lot of texture, there's a lot of colour, but also texture in so much as the use of chains. So if you have a look on these two bags here, these are versions of the Peekaboo bag, and they both this year have chains on them. The one that is like, I think that's probably some sort of crocodile with a pink chain on it. That looks like an enamel chain. But then they've also got some new styles coming out. You've got Fendi first there on the left, but on the right you've got a newer bag which I haven't seen at this particular point, and it's like a baguette bag with a chain with another smaller bag stuck to the side of it, which I love that colour as well, like that really light lilac-y pink colour. Moving on, we've got a couple more bags which are also new out, haven't seen these before. Both of these are also in that, it looks like crocodile with the pink enamel hardware. Then there are more peekaboos as well, and the shape of the peekaboo in what we're seeing here has changed slightly as well. It's a lot more angular, and both of those come with chains as well. But then things get quite interesting because they've got their tote, you know, the tote they have called, I think it's called the Sunshine bag. They seem to be creating more totes this year in different shades and in different colourways. And you've got two here. One, I don't know if you can see it, but the one on the right, it's actually got Fendi written on it as a logo in like quite big writing. But the bags, they almost look like the boutique bags that you walk out of the shop with, in a way that I don't actually mind. I think that looks quite nice. Then we've got some more here. One thing I really like on the right there is this bag, which is the Fendi First in pink patent. Love that they are bringing patent leather in. I really like patent leather actually. You know the Fendigraphy, so the bag that's on the right there, I really like the Fendigraphy. And you can get them in these mini sizes, which essentially is like a wristlet, but you can also, it's designed so that you can clip it on the handle of the regular size Fendigraphy. And they've brought them out in different colours, and this colour is gorgeous, and it's that pale lilac-y pink again. And I think, from that picture, to me, it looks like it's going to be patent leather, and also the Fendi written on the bottom is in silver hardware, not bronze, or like bronzy gold. So if you're someone who doesn't like the gold hardware and you prefer silver, that is coming out, and I wonder whether that silver hardware will also be used on any of the just plain black versions of the bag. Then we've got some more, as you can see there, another one of those tote bags on the left, and another on the right of the bag you saw earlier, where it's like a baguette bag with a smaller bag attached to it. But take a look at that Fendigraphy on the left. That's what I'm talking about. That is the proper full-size version of that bag, not the mini version. And I think that colour with the silver hardware, that to me, out of all the bags I'm showing you from Fendi, that is one that is calling my name. Now moving on to Dior. Dior actually have got quite a few new bags out, but one of the things that Dior seem to be able to do, which I like, is they can make a new bag but make it classic, make it pretty long-term looking. And they've got some new options here. These are interesting. They're also doing the chain thing that Fendi are doing. These are top handle sort of like clutches and pouches that have got chains on them, and they're all around about, the most expensive one there is 1,850. The other two are 1,750. Then there is one that's not so new, it's been out now for a couple of months, but it's the short rectangular version of the Lady Dior, so that's new as well. Then if you want a tote, right, I've got some juice here. The oblique pattern, which I'm obsessed with and I will probably always wear, and they're moving towards the canage pattern, which is the quilting design that you get in the Lady Dior's. And Enrique actually told me this at Dior, and he was like, oh, they're gonna make more that is in that canage pattern as opposed to like necessarily the oblique. And this is a good example of it. So you've got the book tote, which is in the oblique, and you can get it in leather, etc. But here is a version of the tote in full leather canage pattern, £3,600. What I like about this also has chains on the handle. You know, I think chains are like going to be a thing. But one thing I do like about this is this, to me, looks a bit more like an actual handbag as opposed to the book tote, which looks like a functional carrier bag. So if you like the book tote, but you're thinking, you know, it's a lot of money to spend on something that looks like a shopping bag, it's kind of. This I feel looks a bit more like, you know, the Chanel GST, do you remember that bag? This to me reminds me a bit more of that, so it could be a bit more wearable. There are then two more 30 Montaigne, again, chain bags that have got Valentino style top handles that you see on the Rockstud bags. This, which I really like, this from Dior is one of my personal favourites. It's got the chain on it. It's £1,600, but I'm expecting for it to be quite small for that price, but it's still a gorgeous bag, and I love the charms that you've got on it, and I love that chain, the way you've got a mixture of two different styles of chain together with a pearl in there. I think it just mixes it up a bit. Now moving on to Prada, here are some examples. They're doing a lot of textures and a lot of totes. And there are a couple of examples here of two tote bags. I do like that one that's in the pinky colour. And these, I think in real life, these could actually look quite nice. There is another one, which is in a sage green colour, but I have seen this in other shades. So I don't think the shape of the bag itself is like brand new. Then here is another example of one of their totes in a texture. And as you can see from the leather, it's kind of like got a crinkled appearance to it. And then, you know, the triangle bag, looks like that's going to be definitely here for spring summer 23. There is a version of it here, a bit like with Fendi, you know how they've got that baguette bag that had a smaller bag attached to it? Well, Prada have got something similar where they've got what looks like two triangle bags joined together, but they're very much separate bags. We've got another textured bag here, which looks like a Boston bag shape. And I've wondered for a long time, when is that shape of bag going to come back in fashion? Because I actually have a Boston bag shaped bag and it looks so dated, but I'm hoping that one day when that shape comes in, that it gives it a new lease of life and that it doesn't look quite so dated anymore. And so the fact they've got that, I'm wondering, is that going to be a thing? Now moving on to Chanel, and Chanel is like a really popular one, but also the main thing with Chanel that I really feel at the moment, and it's a good thing, is that they have bags that are 4K and under. And 4K is a lot of money, but if you consider that their flap bags are over £7,000, to be able to get a Chanel bag for like 4K and under, for them, is pretty good. And there's a lot of options, and they seem to be coming out with seasonal bags that are all gorgeous, in my opinion, that are under 4K, that maybe aren't massive, you know, they're not like huge bags or anything, but they give an option. And then the next season, they won't do that shape again. They'll have like a completely different shape. Well, this is one of my favourites. This reminds me of the Alma BB by Louis Vuitton. It's a very classic shape. It's in red patent, and it's got a chain crossbody strap, but I also love that it's got those two chain top handles. Love that bag. Not sure how much that's going to be, but really like that bag. The next one, which if you ask me, I think this is going to be a sellout, and I would imagine that there is going to be a wish list for this, like a wait list. But it's this bag, which is from their spring summer 23 collection, and it's in, I can't work out whether that's white or whether it's a very, very pale lilac, but it's lovely all the same. And I love on the front of it how you've got that heart shape lock. A couple of options here of bags that tend to be collector's bags from Chanel. You wouldn't necessarily, they tend to be a lot of money and they're so small that they kind of are a bit useless. People tend to buy them as collector's pieces and they don't necessarily use them, just to like preserve them. But you've got this, which I think is really cute. It's like a tiny bag that looks like their eyeshadow quad that you can buy. And then also, if you look to the right there, they've got that same eyeshadow quad little bag case thing paired with a star-shaped bag as well, and they look really nice together. Then here is what I'm talking about with the pale pinks and the pale peaches. Two really nice tweed bags that are, I really feel like, in my heart, I feel like these are going to be 4K and under. Based on the size and the fact that they're not leather. I love both of them, to be honest. That little vanity case on the left is so cute, but I also love the tweed flat bag on the right, and that's got like a top handle as well. So it's got top handle and crossbody. Then a couple more interesting things. Have a look at that larger size Alma BB style bag on the left there in black patent. So if you like that style of bag but you want something bigger, it's there. I don't think at this size, this is definitely going to be more than 4K, but I think it's going to be less than 7. So because it's not one of their classic bags, I think you're going to be able to get it for a lot less than you would if you were going to go and buy like a classic flat, for example. If I had to buy any bag out of the whole collection, it would be between this and the flat bag with the heart lock on it. But I love that bag on the right there that's got like a fold over flap with a hole through it so that you can hold it properly. I love the look of that bag. And then just a couple more here. The final two I was going to show you is on the right there, that flap bag with the heart lock on it in a different pink colour. Expect all of these bags, by the way, to be available in different colours, different finishes. You only ever see a fraction on the runway of what actually is due to come out from any of these brands. And so it can make it quite fun. You know, you think, oh yeah, you know, there's nothing I like. And then you see something and you think, oh, I didn't see that in the runway shots and I absolutely love it or something. So there are definite options if you like the vibe but you haven't seen anything that you exactly love. If you want another one of these on other brands, please let me know. I was thinking about including like Louis Vuitton, but I knew this video can end up being quite long, so I didn't. I've just done Fendi, Prada and Chanel and Dior. But let me know if there are any other brands that you would be interested in knowing, like what's new, what's going to come out in the new year. Hope you've enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next video.